right, another Metal Monday with my main man Brett. How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Just getting ready. I've seen you pull up that
Red
copper Comex. It looks a little bit rough this morning,
It's
but
rebounding a little. We're
It's
down
coming
at
back.
5.5
Yeah.
right now, but it was down almost 8
Yeah.
this morning. So
Take it with a grain of salt.
And some of the other markets, I just so everyone knows, like anyone can get these apps. Like it's Kitco Metals gives you a rough idea.
You're just kind of trying to give yourself an idea of what the general market's doing, not necessarily trading off that number. You're just trying, if you just want to see what the market looks like, just go to the App Store and download the app, and you can kind of get a rough idea of, kind of how we track it,
Yeah, but it's in my routine every single morning. Early in the morning, it's about the first thing I open just to see what I'm getting ready for.
Sometimes
the day.
I look at it like I'm like looking at a car wreck, like, shit, what's this thing going to look like? And then sometimes I look at it, I'm like, oh, okay, this is good news.
But so last week we had a really good run though in copper. You got to 440. I mean, we're still in the 430s for copper. We're still sitting good.
Yep. Aluminum looks strong.
Aluminum very strong. Nickel very strong.
Yep.
Platinum, palladium are still kind of up and down, real volatile. Rhodium's had a real good run, which is going to help some of our converter prices for our converter customers.
Yeah, if you notice your converter pricing, I mean, obviously palladium had a decent run last week. Platinum's starting to come off. But if rhodium jumps a couple $1,000 an ounce, but platinum comes off 50, your converter price on most of your converters actually is going to go up.
Yeah.
Because that rhodium number, when it gets strong like that, that's really what drove the pricing last year, like in the middle of the year, that
we got to
May, June, July, when rhodium hit 28,000, I mean, the price of converters when that thing was really rocking. Obviously, at that time, palladium was 27, 28.
Yep.
Platinum, but platinum at that time was like still around 1,000. Like it wasn't crazy.
It was close to where it is today.
But platinum is just the most commonly known metal but people kind of forget how hard rhodium drives that price.
Well, last week we didn't have our ferrous numbers. Did you get those knocked out?
This week it looks like they are weaker than anticipated.
Okay.
So I think that I don't 100% know the deal. I know the export pricing has come down, which then allows the domestic steel mills to take some gas out of it. Lead times are shrinking. I did a podcast with my buddy Chad Ellerbrock, who we talked through the bull and bear case scenario. The bear case scenario was a little bit stronger than I anticipated it being, but he's pretty spot on as far as him talking the market down anywhere from 20 to 50, 60, depending on your region. The Midwest, they really are taking it down.
Midwest, down 50, 60?
Yeah, some areas for sure. Depends on the grade, especially on primes. On the cut grade stuff, it's not as hard, but definitely coming down. I think that people are anticipating February to maybe be similar. Maybe not as big of a movement, but if they take it too hard down in January and it really stops the flow, my big concern is if you swing the price down real hard, and right now logistics is an absolute mess across the board, right? And weather doesn't help that cause, but it really comes back down to supply demand. If the steel mills feel like they're good inventory wise, then they're going to try and drag it down. But every steel mill I talk to, the order books are still fairly strong. So if that's the case, then at some point something's got to give. But if people sell into this market and they take the 50, 60 hit, whatever, 20 hit, 30 hit, depending on the grade, then that price could still continue to move down into February.
Did he tell you why? Really? Like, why
it's just the ability to do it. The price of hot rolled coils came off, so the steel mills are running historical margins right now, and there's still a lot of room in there. So the price of hot rolled coil can still come off 20%, and they still have a pretty fat margin on the scrap side. Well, if you go and take the scrap down, 10%, I mean, they're only having to give up 10 of that 20, and it's just kind of It just depends. I mean, I don't know. Which I say 10 of the 20, but really, realistically, that's maybe like 5 of the 20 that comes down. So, that and export pricing is shitty. Turkeys, the lira got smashed at the end of the year last year. So, China is pretty much non-existent because they're trying to, kind of keep stuff at bay, get through the Olympics. That's going to be the real telltale sign in my book is, does China go at it once the Olympics are done and really kind of try and put some liquidity back into this market and drive their economy?
So we might be kind of sitting in limbo until, towards the end of summer then. Right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, realistically, I mean, we could be looking at a March market.
Okay.
Unless unless there's a lot of pushback from scrap, recyclers going into February, and the order books are there, then something's got to give, right? Logistically, trucking is screwed up. I mean, we know that we're in the trucking, industry, and in the Northwest and East Coast. I mean, there's a lot of winter storms that are just creating havoc already on top of a tight logistics market, right? Yep. And so it's going to be an inventory, / supply deal. That's going to only that could buoy the market.
Okay. Well, everyone just stay tuned, and we'll keep everyone filled in when we know more.
All right. Have a great day, great week. See you next Monday.
Thanks, everybody.